Welcome to the Everyone's a Critic bonus podcast known as 1993. I'm your host, professional film critic Sean Kernan. Find my stuff at vocal.media, horror.media, geeks.media. Also on Twitter at Podcast Sean. I'm joined on this bonus episode, or the side quest podcast, if you will, of Everyone's a Critic, by our newest co-host, MJ.
Hello.
And by a voice you've heard before, Amy Kay.
Hello.
And on this show, we decided to spin off the 93 movies into its own show. Bob and Jeff weren't watching them, so...
Somebody had to do it. Might as well be us.
I wanted to keep up the bit.
Yeah.
And...
Screw my family. Let's just make them suffer.
So we're going to start with the very first movie released wide in theatrically in 1993, which is iconically Leprechaun. Amy, do you want to introduce the premise of Leprechaun? I believe you have the description.
Oh, I do. Hang on. Well, just to make sure that you all actually understand it the correct way, because this is how it really is. Hang on. I believe it is an Irish fairy, played by Warwick Davis, escapes from a crate and goes on a gory quest for his 100 stolen gold coins. And it is a película by Mark Jones. Because we had to watch this in Spanish for the first 5 minutes.
So this is we're trying to watch this movie, and we're looking for a way to watch it without having to pay for it, because who wants to pay
Because we're cheap.
$4 to watch this fucking movie? But we went to Tubi, and it was Roku
yeah.
channel, yeah. Which tends to be where you can find free movies. And they had it, and we're all excited, like, great, they've got it, let's watch it. And suddenly everything is in Spanish, there's just no warning whatsoever.
No, it's not on anything. It's just Spanish.
And I really enjoyed it because, I understand Spanish, but at the same time...
What a flex.
Well, look, I have nothing left in my life, okay? But yeah, and we were actually going to watch it just in the Spanish version, too, which I really thought would be
just try and pick it up via context cue.
Exactly.
We've seen it, though. MJ, obviously, you've never...
No.
Had you ever heard of Leprechaun before?
I had not. The first time I heard of it was when you said something, and then my mother this morning, I told her we were watching Leprechaun, and she was just like, oh... Okay, then.
What is your take on horror movies?
It depends on the horror movie.
Ask the person who kept putting their hands over their eyes.
I'm not very gore-ish kind of person.
No?
I can't always watch gore.
No.
So were you a little put off?
But the thing about this movie, though, is that it was more of a comedy. I think I laughed more than I winced.
Well, and in fairness, the director, Mark Jones, how do they say his name?
It's, hang on, it's, La Película de Mark Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the director and writer, Mark Jones, who only directed 4 films in his career, including... he only produced Leprechaun 2. He actually only directed 3 films.
Oh, okay. It's not a terrible film to look at.
He set out to make a horror movie based off of having seen a commercial for Lucky Charms.
And I kept saying that because we hadn't seen it since we were teenagers, obviously. And I kept saying that they should throw Lucky Charms at the Leprechaun. But they weren't even Lucky Charms in the movie.
Universally speaking, even though they do make the very typical Lucky Charms joke in the movie, they only have Lucky Clover.
Lucky Clover. And I swear to God, he called him Dad when he looked at the bugs.
Yes, I think he did.
I swear he said Dad.
That was a weird bit.
Yeah.
We'll get to... We've introduced the premise. We're starting here. We start in New Mexico.
Yeah.
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Easily mixed up.
Up near the Great White North.
North Dakota, the Irish portion where the O'Grady's live.
Yeah. We're the only one with a patch of clover.
If you're Irish, the clover
just
grows where you are.
Underneath you.
And it glows, too.
Yeah, it glows.
Weirdly enough.
Screen.
And where people don't even notice it, though, it glows.
Exactly.
That's completely normal. Nobody comments on this.
We never even, like, there was no, it was, like, the clover wasn't even really, like, a callback. The clover patch was, you know?
Yeah, it was
like, you're gonna find the clover patch at home, and she goes back and like, oh, there it is, because it's glowing green.
It's glowing green. Why wouldn't I
Didn't
miss
see
that?
that. No,
all of
but
a sudden now.
So
Right.
drunken Mr. O'Grady comes stumble bumming out of
a limousine.
with some Jameso.
Jameson.
Yes.
Can't leave that in on there.
We can do all the LA gear.
All the LA gear
all the LA
shots.
gear promotion we
The
want,
Reebok
but
pumps, but
nobody
we're not
mentioned
doing-
Lucky Charms
Or Jameson.
or Jameson whiskey.
That's just too Irish, I'm afraid.
There's no
Stereotypes.
There's no
Just too
iconic.
Irish.
There's no iconic potato
I was
brand,
just
so they
gonna
couldn't.
say that, and I kept
No.
waiting for like potatoes to show up somewhere.
Something.
Like he just starts throwing
Why not set the
potatoes
movie
at
in
him.
Ohio, Idaho? Why not
Could've been-
set the movie in
could've been
Idaho?
Yeah, you're right.
Would have been a good one.
Just hit all the stereotypes.
Well, so and we knew that because it was called Leprechaun. It took place. I mean, we have this in 1993, which, you know, I know people are especially, you know, MJ is concerned. You hear it was a different time, and I think this movie definitely proves that.
What type of Irish stereotypes are you aware of? Because like for some reason, when we grew up, we were trained on stereotypes.
Yeah.
So like everything to us, like
It was like a class in high school.
Well, there was some red hair was one of them.
that was one that was missing. Yeah, that should have been something like that.
No, I'm sorry, the leprechaun had red hair.
He did have red
but
hair.
they didn't reference it.
No, they didn't
That's
really
true.
talk about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really mentioned. Yeah, there was that. There was the potatoes. I do know that was a thing. And then 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah.
There was like the pot of gold, obviously.
Yeah.
That's more of like a, I don't know.
That goes
but-
back to the Lucky Charms thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when we were young, and we would watch, you know, or play Super Mario Brothers, and we would just think, it's a me, Mario.
That's a spicy meatball.
That's a spicy meatball. Just like Mama used to make.
That is the writing of this movie.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's
Total
spicy meatball.
So
Being drunk is the spicy meatball of
oh,
Ireland.
it is of our people. It's a spicy meatball. But yeah, okay. So
Mr. O'Grady.
Mr. O'Grady.
He stole the
Which
gold.
it doesn't even, okay, so we have to start this off, because when it starts, we've got, you know, Warwick Davis down there, my preciousing this whole pot of gold.
more
Then-
than 100 coins.
Right. But then slam right up against Mr. O'Grady coming back in a limousine. What the fuck happened between that guys?
You
There's
never
gotta be
know.
a really great story there about how Mr. O'Grady,
he stole
he
it.
trapped the leprechaun and
Right.
stole the gold.
I feel like
But they didn't put that part into
No,
it.
it's on the cutting room floor. It's like, let's not give anybody any ideas as to why this happened.
No,
or
we're just
how.
gonna tell the story.
It's
of
a
how it
far more
happened
interesting
on here.
story than anything in this movie.
Oh, we'll save that for later. That's part of the lore. But so yeah, so we, you know, that of course leads to that, you know, the green little bastard to show up and come in there and
He's not green. He's
No,
wearing
He's wearing
green.
green. I said that, but he
wearing
also has
green.
green blood. Let
He
us
does
not
have green
forget.
blood.
He has green blood.
And then so he's in this crate, and his Achilles heel is a 4-leaf clover, as we know.
He kills Mrs. O'Grady.
Kills Mrs. O'Grady, which we kind of saw coming because, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that. Of
It was
course, and
just
she
gonna
was innocent, you know? My drunk, dumbass husband brought back this cursed gold, and now I get to die for it? Fuck you!
No, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Mr. O'Grady then attempts murder-suicide.
Yep. And then we all think that they're dead.
Yeah.
Right? So
We
everybody's
think that.
dead.
Yep. Everything is dead, and we're
Except
just
for-
done.
Right.
But then, Mr. O'Grady is in a
We
nursing
find out
home,
way later
Yeah.
that he's in a nursing
and it's
home.
yeah.
So,
Exposition O'Grady.
as we'll get back to that patch of clover later. So then, and again, the only reason this movie is watchable.
The only reason anybody remembers this movie, no, I'm
because-
kidding.
well-
It's been around for over a decade.
But just saying, the only reason to watch it is Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston from Friends.
Yep.
Is the star of the film.
At least with her in it, it's watchable.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like, we wanted the kid to get killed. Ozzy was dumber than a box of hammers. And
Was Ozzy intended as a special needs character?
if that was a fucking case, I'm going to be really pissed off.
Seriously,
Because,
like,
yeah.
Both of you work with special needs
We
people.
do.
yes.
To be honest with you, people with intellectual disabilities don't act like that. You know,
No.
and they would probably have better resources.
I
It's
think
like,
I think
I'm not
he's
going to
just.
eat. No, I put a coin in my mouth and I swallowed it. Like, that's never going to happen.
It's not. No,
I
and
think
it's,
Ozzy is just meant to be simple.
I think, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But this is not of mice and men. This is Leprechaun. So, I mean, sorry. I'm just getting really angry about this now. And I literally laughed through most of it. So.
Well, and again, I want
now
to
is the time to
be
get to that,
completely
yeah.
fair to this movie. It started off as a horror film, but became a horror comedy. So some of the comedy that we see is actually intentional.
Isn't it?
It's not very good in terms of how it's played out, but it is intentional.
Beg to differ, because that skateboard scene is one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen. Anyway. So yeah, Jennifer and her dad. Then her dad gets wounded.
He's the most worthless character in the movie.
and he doesn't do anything after he goes to the hospital.
he does.
We never
He's
see him
just
again.
there.
Yeah, you bring your daughter to this,
My
shithole of a house. She wants to leave, and you're like, okay, here's your suitcase. Where's she gonna go? She's in fucking North Dakota.
well,
She
she said she's going to a hotel,
Hotel.
and she's going to pay for it.
and it takes what, like 3 hours to get to a hotel or a hospital at this point.
Like, it's dark.
At one point, yeah, it's bright
was light
sunshine.
before.
The dad gets bit by the leprechaun, and then they have to run him to the hospital. And by the time they get there, it's night.
Exactly.
Like that's how far away they are from the rest of society.
I just don't understand why the leprechaun bite was a thing.
I don't
Like,
either.
unless you're going to turn them into a leprechaun, why are
Yes.
you biting him?
That we really did, yeah. MJ, you really wanted him to be. If he bites people, he turn like the zombie rule should
Right.
apply to
I
leprechauns.
feel like it should. I mean, if he's just gonna bite you, like,
It's like a purple Smurf thing. Ganap. You're purple now. You're not
and you know,
blue.
he said he was gonna bite off his ear, but he only ended up biting his
Like,
ear.
you just like barely tugged it, you know?
no, he didn't
Wasn't
go
a Van
through
Gogh
with it.
thing.
Like,
Yeah,
he
the
didn't commit to it.
spatial reasoning is not big with either Ozzy or the leprechaun, as they think an ear could be turned into a boot.
I know, well,
Yeah.
that's true. Turn it into a boot. And then, like, Warwick Davis, I love you, but where was the Irish accent in this movie?
Oh,
What's with the Cockney all the way through it? And then only a few Lucky Charms, like, kind of... Yeah, it was terrible. But
it's
anyway,
the
so
lowest of low-hanging fruit.
it is. But, like, what was... To me, so he's this little imp of a thing is ruining the lives of these 4 people. Now, her dad's in the hospital, so now these 4 are kind of sequestered in this house. There's no getting out. Every time they try to, the truck's not starting, which is a great 90s trope. We saw that a million times. So the phone doesn't work, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
The phone was never even plugged into the wall, which I love.
Was also though there was a Jeep there. Nobody thought
Nobody
to
thought to
use
use
it
the Jeep.
until the end.
Let's
Yeah.
use the broken down truck that has to have its
Exactly.
distributor cap fixed every time we use it.
And only the little kid knows how to fix the truck,
Yes.
too.
Well,
And
he
all
also
of-
handles the liability
He does
insurance.
handle the
Yes.
liability. And again, that was another thing that was about, like, so 90s with, like, the little white boy always knowing more or doing more, outsmarting people.
Meanwhile, Jennifer Aniston is having me explain everything by every character.
Yep. Oh, yes. Yep. I love that.
The amount of mansplain
Oh,
she has to deal with.
Here's your gun. Point it at something and then pull the trigger and shoot it. The look on her face, she looked so defeated. And I know that wasn't intentional, but, like, Jesus.
Well, she
dude.
tries to stand up for herself a couple times and tell him, like,
And it
I
just-
know what I'm fucking doing.
Because it's the 90s,
Yes.
and women don't tolerate shit like that. God, I wish that changed. 30 years later, and we're still being mansplained to. So I mean, they're basically just fighting off this leprechaun every which way they can.
The leprechaun, there's a big problem with his powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what can he and can he not do?
Well, sometimes he can
He gets trapped in a crepe.
Yeah.
He gets trapped in this crate, and like there's a 4-leaf clover on top, so he can't move it. Like that's it. He can't get out the side of it.
Mm-hmm. But eventually that 4-leaf clover dies, and he just stays in the crate. I'm tired. I'll just wait till somebody comes to wake me up.
So dumbass Ozzy lets him out, and then. But then he can like disappear and appear places. Like at one point he just shows up in a fucking like a refrigerator. Just pops out of a refrigerator.
He's pulling the laughing door gag with the cupboards, which I love. Can't catch me! Can't catch me! He's making skates appear out of nowhere that fit him. What?
It's like he's on these skates, and where did you find those?
The best part, though, again, we're going back to that goddamn skateboard. Where did that come from? Because we know the O'Grady's didn't just have a random skateboard sitting around the house.
The boy doesn't live in the house.
No.
So it's not his. Is it Jennifer Aniston's
Right.
skateboard?
Well, I brought no, because they literally showed up there with one bag of groceries, a small suitcase, and a large suitcase. And obviously that was hers because she's a girl.
Yes, of course.
God.
Women be shopping.
Oh, women be shopping.
Yeah, she had a lot of references to Beverly Hills.
That's
right.
I don't eat
that
meat.
She doesn't want to go to
delightful.
Hollywood. She wants to go to Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills and have a watercress salad and an Evian water, which again, so 90s. I love it. I love it.
Well, the whole meatloaf argument.
Oh my God.
She won't eat meatloaf. She's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
And he points out that her shoes
Are made of cow.
are they though? Because they're LA. They look like they're actually not.
They're probably more pleather
They're
than
not
they are
leather.
leather.
Yeah.
LA beat whatever what they call
LA gear.
LA gear are not made out of leather. Maybe the shoe, maybe the bottom of the shoe.
Maybe. Well,
that's rubber.
No, that'd
it's
be rubber.
No,
I
yeah,
feel like we
rubber.
need to fact check that.
I
because
don't think. I think he's wrong. I don't think there's any
I don't
cow
understand
in
how he
those.
could pull that shoe off with as tight as she had those laces. And not only that, this is again so 90s. She had double laces, white and pink. How the fuck could you pull that off her foot without crying? Like she'd be like, "Ow, ow!" There was nothing. She only drank tea. It's like, oh, gotta maintain my
And he's
figure.
so attractive too as this fucking bully. He fucking bullies her the entire movie, and all she does is go, "He's so dreamy."
He's so dreamy.
He's so
His hair bullied me the entire movie.
She goes back and forth. She vacillates. Like,
Yeah.
she's upset that he's insulting to her and condescending to her, but then she's also like, he's just too cute.
He's
I
so
can't
dreamy,
I can't
though.
resist him.
Oh,
He's,
Really doesn't make much sense.
he's
No.
trying to force me to eat meatloaf, but damn it, he's so cute while doing it.
she's gonna be at home with kids in the kitchen one of these days. So much for being an independent
LA
woman.
gears and pregnant.
Oh, so much LA, and they kept like showing us LA gear. Like
LA
it was
Gear
product-
had to pay for
They
this
had to.
movie.
We should have watched the credits to see if they put some money in on this. It's like, I've got this great idea for a film. Let's call it
like,
LA Gear.
The kid is wearing Reebok pumps,
Yeah,
which is a
which
huge
badass.
90s thing.
Love
Like, I had
those.
Reebok's
Yes,
pumps,
yep.
which they fell apart after a year of
course they
use.
did.
Like, it
Probably
fell
because when
completely-
he wasn't wearing those shoes, I would bring them out to the living room and just start like pushing on them because I wanted to see how they pumped up.
it was pure anxiety. Just-
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, this is great.
And then you push the little button on the back and it would deflate.
Oh, it's
So you can take them off.
cool. What a great idea.
It was a terrible
those
idea.
shoes.
They were awful shoes. They fell apart in a year.
I loved
Like, they were
them.
just built to die.
Okay, then make me just a pair of shoes that have stress balls in them that I can inflate and deflate.
Maybe just use the shoes as a stress ball. Like, don't even wear them.
That seems pointless.
Well, I mean, people buy stress balls now. I mean,
Oh, they do. Yeah, you're right. I'll just put a stress ball in my shoe. So,
Now you'd have, like, one of those things you pop the bubbles in and out of.
yeah, oh yeah, poppets.
Pop it.
Got so many poppets.
oh, there are so many poppets
Oh,
everywhere.
that's great.
Stress poppets.
Well, see, but they were inspired by Reebok pumps, I think. So.
Ozzy was wearing Converse. Did you see that?
Dug the shit out of Ozzy's shoes.
The shoes
Ozzy.
stand out because they're the Leprechaun's biggest weakness aside from 4-leaf clovers.
That's
For some reason, this is a part of Leprechaun lore that I'm not quite familiar with. If you give him a shoe, he has to polish it.
he has to polish it,
Yes.
which again is such a stereotype that I am offended by.
See, I didn't understand that. I didn't see that as
Just
a
throw
stereotype.
shoes at Irish people whenever they come over. So keep them out of the room, out of the party. There you go. I'll be in there in about an hour, you guys.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. As people are
Party's
going
over.
outside of the door.
Yeah, you gotta go.
At what point, like,
finish this.
Jennifer Aniston is holding a shoe that you clearly cannot polish.
It's a suede shoe. I thought that too. It's like, what are you polishing out of there? God.
Not a shoe you polish.
No. And I love it also when she first starts, like,
Why
when she
highlight
sees-
that?
Exactly. She sees all the shoes on the table and she walks up to hers and she's like, it looks exactly like it did before. You can't polish a suede shoe, you asshole.
Maybe that's the magic power that he has, is
Yeah.
that he can clean any shoe.
Only, well,
Not just polish, he can clean any shoe.
I think that's just an Irish thing. You wouldn't understand.
That should go on your meme
I'm
t-shirt.
telling you,
It's an
it's gonna go on
Irish
my
thing.
t-shirt.
You just wouldn't understand.
You just wouldn't understand. God.
Is it kind of like a weird sort of hate crime that all of us are Irish and our first movie is Leprechaun?
Yeah. It's like we hate ourselves. I mean, even if we weren't Irish, I still think we hate ourselves for watching that movie. But again, like, it wasn't okay. We had terrible continuity issues,
Awful.
really
Yeah.
bad ADR, but it wasn't like it wasn't annoying to watch. Like,
No,
there
like-
was a story through it.
And
Yeah.
it is half-assed in every detail.
Yeah.
Like in every detail.
In every detail.
To be clear. But at the same time, when he's riding his little roller skates that he made out of fucking thin air, and he's hanging on the back of the Jeep, and he goes flying cartoon style through
Through the fence.
makes a little Warwick Davis leprechaun hole in it. That was funny. I laughed.
So funny.
It's a cheap joke, but it's a good joke.
Oh my god! His little arms are up, and that was so delightful.
He was having fun.
You could tell
I
it
mean-
was. Yeah, but my favorite though, and it wasn't even in the movie. It was us watching as he drives that little kid's car, and you're just like, oh, dignity.
What's your dignity?
That was the other thing too. So he's driving this little car,
Yeah.
the one that he gets pulled over by the police in.
Yeah.
Which I love, which I absolutely love. And that's the other thing about this movie is that instead of running away from the danger, they kept running to the
Yeah,
danger.
that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Like, so the leprechaun's trying to kill them to get his gold back.
Right.
But then the leprechaun runs away and they go after him.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, I would probably do the same. I just want to see what he's going to do next.
Because then he turns into Bugs Bunny
And
and a
then he's like
skateboard
rolling on
for
the
like a
skateboard
minute.
back and forth. Can't catch me. And that's like the best part. Like, I cried.
Like, you can tell. I know his name is Jones, and that's famous in the animation world. But like, you're
Chuck Jones. Yeah.
but like he steals. And they
Everything.
nothing original about any of these gags.
No.
They're just Bugs Bunny gags, but with the evil, murderous leprechaun.
Gosh. Which, and there's moments he's almost cute. Like when he's in the wheelchair and he's chasing after the guy. And it's adorable.
They missed out on an
Yakety
opportunity
sax,
with yakety
exactly.
sax.
Now that would have been even funnier. But
There's a supercut of that on
there,
YouTube
there
somewhere.
has to be. Oh my god, I have to look that up now. What were you
Poor
gonna
Jennifer
say?
Aniston just having to like slow
So,
jog.
that was a real thing, wasn't it? Like she actually had to slow down because he's just.
All his arms, he couldn't push it very quickly.
But it was that. It was also on the tricycle, which was hilarious.
Yes.
You know, he's just like he can't go that fast.
Yeah, poor Daryl.
It pisses me. Oh yeah, Daryl. Oh,
Explain Daryl to people who might not know.
So-
like MJ.
Joe, who has the collectible shop
Yeah.
that takes on the coin. One of my heroes is Bob Newhart. So he had a show called Newhart in the 80s, and on there were these three characters: Larry, Daryl, and Daryl. Larry, Daryl, and my other brother Daryl is how he would say it. And one of them was the other brother Daryl, who had a weird cold sore and suspender gate.
Yeah.
He's wearing these suspenders.
It was very inconsistent. At some points, they were fastened in the back. At some points, they were not
It looked like he
fastened
was
in
wearing
the
a
back.
lanyard. Like, it didn't make any sense.
This is not how suspenders work.
No! What are you holding up? And he's holding it up with his neck? I mean, you'd think that he'd have like scoliosis. With all the padding that they put on him, too. He was the most oddly misshapen potato.
He was like Danny DeVito's penguin.
He was! Wow.
Very bizarre, and his death is very strange. He's pogoed to death.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But again, like I said, though, I mean, like, with that padding, you could pretty much just jump through anything. But it was actually kind of funny, too. And he's just like, I'll be right back. And he goes over and he gets the pogo stick, and he's just bling, bling, bling.
Again, the delight that Warwick Davis has. The reason that franchise has stuck around as long as it has is his delight and his need for the puns. He loves the puns.
Oh. I mean, again, you go from Willow to this, and then from this to Harry Potter. It's like I like
minor missteps in quality.
Yeah, but God damn, he's still a great actor in it. You know, he's a lot of fun.
Like I said, he's delightful. He's really delighting in doing this.
But then, in a review, Warren Davis was an absolute delight in the film Leprechaun.
When you see him on that little tricycle, are you not delighted?
I want that on a t-shirt. I'm not lying. He looks so cute. Or when he's laying on his side and he's got his hand up on his face and again on the skateboard. That's just the best. He looks so relaxed.
What did I say? I was Leprechaun thirst traps.
Yes.
Well, there is Grinch ones. So
Oh, wow. What?
Welcome to
Yes.
2023.
You haven't seen the Grinch thirst traps?
No.
Oh, they're terrible.
Hang on,
This
let me
guy,
look.
this guy comes out with a vacuum cleaner that's got some stuff around it, and he just dances dressed as the Grinch.
I'm so excited about this.
I just reviewed a Grinch horror movie just last month where they
no.
appropriated the character of the Grinch for a horror film. Amy, you look horrified by what you just seen.
I have never seen such a thick, round ass. Until now. Look at that thick ass.
Oh! Yikes.
Damn!
That is it. That is a pronounced crack. Usually you don't pronounce the crack quite as much as is in this photo. Like, if you imagine a giant butt, it had, with the crack, it's
nice
crack.
and tight.
Pull.
Except it looked like a Muppet from behind. Like two Muppets holding him up, his torso. I can't. Thing one and thing two. And somebody took it. They pulled it wider. See,
Oh,
you
wow.
want that ass to be thick.
That is deeply,
So good.
deeply
I saw that
disturbing.
one too. So unfair on a podcast to be looking at this. We really should have been recording this.
Wow. I was not aware of Grinch thirst traps, but now you have to look up Leprechaun thirst traps.
You really do.
Oh, okay, let's see. Let's see if I can find one.
We
on
want some
TikTok.
sexy leprechauns.
I don't know if that's possible. Speaking as a person who's 4'11", I feel abused here.
Would you call Warwick Davis sexy in this movie?
I mean, no, not his face.
Objectively, maybe. But
God. Oh, it's a twerking leprechaun.
oh, wow. Yeah.
Nope.
So that is something.
That's a thing.
TikTok has
That's-
everything, man.
Fuck
TikTok, you can find anything on there.
that.
We're off
is
on
a
a tangent,
cesspool.
but
yeah.
I imagine there's got to be a Tumblr for sexy
I'm sure that
leprechauns.
there is.
Probably.
Because I've experienced the Onceler-verse. Where
Oh God, not this, not this. Oh no.
Slivers.
the Onceler is the character from the Lorax
Oh, no.
who creates the needs, and every girl is in love with him from the Lorax cartoon.
No.
They just adore him to the point where they ship him with himself.
I hate this.
Some of them are like old and new, and some of them are new and new. old and old. It's
No! You've gone too far. I'm gonna throw some shoes out in the living room. You just go. Wow.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
I hate everything. This year has already started off shitty, and now I have to look this shit up.
Makes supernatural fan fiction seem tame by comparison.
Oh, yes.
Look up supernatural fan fiction, folks.
Look up Super Hulock fan fiction.
Oh, there's so much.
The Doctor and Sherlock having sex in front of the Winchester brothers. Yeah, it's a thing.
Wow.
There's so many things on the internet.
I was aware of the Sherlock thing from, a video I saw on YouTube?
Yeah.
Brilliant creator whose name now would escape me, of course. Yeah, she did a whole deep dive on the whole Sherlock Holmes love story that never happened. Who would you ship the Leprechaun with? Ozzy. It's Ozzy, isn't it?
That doesn't seem right. No, I would put two fandoms together.
Technically, Ozzy can't consent to anything.
I just picture Ozzy as like smooth as a Ken doll. Like, he's not a sexual being.
Not at all.
He's a utensil.
You want to ruin any movie?
Yeah, we just did.
Take the main couple and then imagine them having oral sex.
Oh, no.
So it's like, yeah, it's really romantic between Ken Oland and Jennifer Aniston until you start imagining her sucking his dick.
No.
Oh, no.
I went the other way. Because unwanted thought syndrome is a real thing. God.
You just imagine, like, Titanic is so romantic until you start thinking of Rose sucking Jack's dick.
No! Sorry, MJ, your mom cannot listen to this podcast.
No, never.
No way.
She wouldn't want
You're
to
welcome.
anyway.
You're welcome.
So Leprechaun, then.
I was thinking the dickish unicorns from Gravity Falls.
With the Leprechaun?
Yes.
Okay. No, I like
They're
that.
just like, they're such dicks, and they go with all of the stereotypes, but really they're not powerful at all. They just have weird rave dance music in their horns.
I love that. That's how I always
If you tinge it with a little Irish music, maybe that really sell it.
Irish trap music. How about that? That would be awesome.
That can't be a thing.
No, it is a thing. It is a thing. Thanks, call me Kevin. Yeah. No, I would. If you're gonna ship two things that are very much green, then why not do the Grinch and the Leprechaun together? If you're gonna ship them,
That's fair.
you know what I mean.
It's an interesting ship.
Until you picture them 69 and it doesn't make any sense. God, this is the dirtiest. We can't post this.
Oh, this is going up.
Oh my god.
It's going to be rated mature, but it's going up.
So let's rein it back in. So, O'Grady's still alive.
Right, somehow.
We don't know how because he had a heart attack, landed on the floor in the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Was,
then
it a stroke or a heart attack?
It was a heart attack because you could tell the way he was holding on to his chest.
So it looked like a stroke, it looked like a heart attack, but then later they said it was a stroke.
Yeah, the Ken Oland's character said it was a
stroke attack.
Yeah.
It's
a
heart stroke.
A heart
attack.
Heart
stroke. None of that's funny even to talk about, but here we are. We've already gone down this on this ship.
He's alive.
He's alive. But here's he was, okay? And you had to know, like, the minute that Aniston goes into that nursing home, which is called Chillview, by the way, which I love. And again, nobody's there, no nurses, no anything. The roster of who is living there.
There's a prop that literally says room numbers. She opens it up, and there's a list of names and no room numbers.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Imagine they
the attention to detail.
Right, exactly. But imagine having your family a member there. It's a guessing game. Good luck.
Maybe try down there.
And then we come to find, of course, that's where the leprechaun is. That's where he does the big chase on the wheelchair. She gets into the elevator. All of a sudden, he comes hanging down. O'Grady does.
And, like, how did the leprechaun know she was going to be in there? Like,
he had no way of knowing.
No.
It's such an odd place to put someone, though.
It's too convenient, is what I'm saying.
Also, just why? Why would he drop him through the elevator?
Mm-hmm. And why did Mr. O'Grady still look the same age as he was when he had the heart attack?
Also,
it's been 10 years.
Why didn't the leprechaun just leprechaun himself into the elevator?
Exactly. I mean, he must have done that to get O'Grady up in the
He
ceiling.
could do that. He could leprechaun himself into the fucking refrigerator, but he can't leprechaun himself into the elevator.
It's a continuity and story nightmare. And yet, somehow, it still worked. You know, again, as a comedy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
It's quite funny both intentionally and unintentionally.
No, I mean, I loved it. I loved
Even
it.
the intentional humor isn't great.
No. Well, no. Aside from the skateboard.
Because I don't think Mark Jones is a very funny guy. I think his sense of humor basically stops at I'm gonna get your Lucky Charms.
Yeah, that's
basically.
it. I really wanted that, though.
Everybody else, you got to give credit, like, to Warwick Davis to actually making it funny, like him actually doing the things that make it funny.
Well, because you know he didn't sign on and go, "Oh, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've heard. I'll take it." You know, like, I want to know how much he got paid for this film.
It wasn't a lot.
It
It wasn't. The movie only cost $1 million. Like, that's all. That's it. The entire production was $1 million.
I love that. So you just know that hospital that they dropped their dad off, it was really open, and they had to hurry up and get off the set. It's a Better Call Saul.
That's why
moment.
we didn't go. That's why they weren't eating inside the hospital. They had to go to the diner.
Yeah.
Yep.
The diner, who serves meatloaf covered in gravy, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Is that a thing? I thought meatloaf had, like, red sauce on it.
It's like a ketchup usually. But when you see it was a brown beef gravy sauce, and then the mixed
That was
vegetables,
disturbing.
it looked like something that you'd get in an elderly folk's home, which I
Either
think
that or
showed
like
you
a
helped
school
them.
lunch.
Right.
I was like, initially, is that actually meatloaf then? Or is it? And then he called it meatloaf. Like,
not.
Cameron called it meatloaf.
No, I beg to differ, Nathan.
Nathan, that's his character name.
Yes.
Thank you.
The best part was getting his leg
mumbles
stuck in the... yeah, he does. He gets his leg stuck in the bear trap. And the only thing that bothered me, not that he was hurt, but that he kept getting that wound so dirty. That bothered me through the rest of the fucking film. I couldn't even... It gets down on the floor, and you look at the floor, and there's like shit all over it. It's like, that's gangrene, dude. You're gonna lose a leg. You should have just let the leprechaun knock it off with the axe like he was going to.
Yeah.
I don't...
Well, then he wouldn't have been able to run anywhere else. Like,
They had to slow him down to give the leprechaun a chance.
You're right. I always one of my favorite things in those movies, though, too, is that whenever they're running away from trouble, they're always going to trip. Like,
Yeah.
inevitably.
Every time. The cop. We haven't even talked about the cop.
Oh, you're right.
Barney
the
Fife.
top, yes.
Again, that perfect movie moment when he's running through the forest.
Yes. There's
Running
always got to
toward
be
the
one
danger.
of those.
Right?
Always got to be.
And he's all bloody on his face, and we still don't know why he got that wound. Like, what was... The leprechaun literally put his hand on the police officer's face.
Right.
And then just kind of pulled at it.
Yeah.
And I thought he was pulling his eyes out.
Or something.
Yeah.
I thought he was just digging his nails into his face.
Yeah.
Like,
But why? Like,
And
ow,
he just
but
kind of
why?
scratches him, and then the cop runs into the forest.
Right, the cop runs after him. He's like, you hurt me. And,
Well, no, the cop's running away from the leprechaun.
oh, that's
Yeah.
right. And then the leprechaun ran away from the cop.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
cop just kind of stays there.
the leprechaun runs away a lot, and it really confuses me.
That's exactly it. It's the whole can't catch
He's
me
the
thing.
one. You're the one pursuing. Like,
Yeah.
if he's the one pursuing, why is he running away?
You wanted to kill us. We have no ill will towards you. We don't have a bag of gold that we're bitching about.
No, we don't care. We just want to go.
Yeah.
Leave this weird New Mexico.
North Dakota.
Dakota.
North Dakota.
That was the best line. Like, what a great way for us to be
Aniston sells
introduced to Jennifer
He sells
Aniston.
it.
Yeah.
I can't believe you brought me here to New Mexico. It's North
We're in
Dakota.
North Dakota. She has no sense
Nebraska,
of direction.
I don't know.
Whatsoever.
North Carolina.
We're in North Carolina. Stay away from those Carolinas. I love Jennifer gets to wear the coolest shorts in this, and it makes me so happy. It's so 90s because they're like all patchwork and stuff, and she looks fabulous. And no matter what, like she'll have like a smear of dust on her shirt, and then it goes away,
No continuity.
The dirt on her face, and then bam, she's crystal clean, and
The paint that's actually Band-Aids.
that's Band-Aids on her arm. So you just rip that paint off.
Then inconsistently reapplied throughout various different
Randomly
scenes.
on their body. It's like, no one's going to notice that.
And then the paint went away at some point
It did.
too.
Like,
It
how
just-
did they rinse themselves off?
When did they do that? And then the shower with
There is no
with the
shower
dude.
in this house.
Also,
the
what
dude,
kind
though,
of
he
paint
was
just
cleaning
comes
up.
off like that? Like at one point, Ozzy just gets paint all over his head.
Yes.
His entire head
There's
is
no
covered in
way he
paint.
would have gotten that paint out of it.
He would be so blue.
Yep.
So blue.
One
A terrible
shower
color
in this
blue.
non-place with a shower.
Makes no
It's-
sense.
the shower took directly to turpentine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
The reason why we kind of went all over the place with this movie is because it really is all over
It
the
is.
place.
Yes.
And you keep thinking about the funniest moments. That's where I keep focusing my attention to. And I'm really happy I got to watch this movie. It really did lift my spirits in a way that should make me sad.
You know what's surprising though is it has a reputation for gore, but it's not that gory.
Not really. I mean, the pogo stick going into the... But even that...
But you don't really
didn't-
see that. It's implied. You see cuts all over his face for some reason.
Oh,
Where to get the cuts on his
right.
face from a pogo stick, I have no idea. But
Well, so it seemed pointy on the end when he pulled
Yeah.
it out. Like, it was kind of
That's
confusing,
not-
but how did it get pointy?
Yeah, you really couldn't use a pogo stick if it had a pointy end.
no, it would totally
It'd be hilarious
yeah.
if you do that out in the yard and you just get stuck in it.
They tend to have like a rubber thing at the bottom
Yes!
to give you bounce.
It doesn't make any sense.
Pause.
Poor Joe.
Okay.
Forgot that the train was going to come by.
Oh, these trains are...
We're hobos. We're actually living on the railroad, so
Yes.
don't mind that.
We're jumping on now, so just hold on.
So
Boxcar children.
the gore though, like there were points where you were covering your eyes because it was kind of gross.
Well, when you pulled
It was
the
just like
eyeball out,
it didn't matter. It didn't matter like after it had been done, but just while it was doing that, like I can't watch the action. I don't care about seeing the after, but it's just the action is what gets me.
yeah. That the eyeball part that
Ooh,
really
yeah.
bugged me. I don't like that. I mean, I get it. He needed an eye, but
He'd lost an eye.
But did it have to be?
Poked in the eye with the largest possible stick end somehow.
And also, it wouldn't
It's
work
so
for
thick.
him. The eye would not work for him.
It's an eye from a dead person. Does that
I'll
work
buy
that
into
way?
I'll buy into that just because of his stupid magic can do anything.
That's
'Cause
true.
I guess, but
It's-
like I wouldn't know if it would be compatible with his magic.
No. And his magic is so like weirdly arbitrary. Like
That's the thing.
that's
yeah.
the thing. That's the whole film.
What is his aim though? Like, I mean, he gets his coins back, and
Except for
one.
one.
But like, I get that he's after the coins, but like, is his aim to murder everyone or not?
Like, why do you have to?
Like he has,
kill
like he
for
has the
this?
magic power. He could just magic himself into any room
Right.
and just start scratching away and killing people.
Well, that was the other thing too. At the end, when she finally hands him the bag of coins, well, close, and then he has that green power where he just kind of sucks it out of her hand. Why didn't he just do that? Like, just go there and put your hand up, and then like,
Yeah.
shouldn't it be like an innate power?
There's
that is yours?
there's an implication that his power is related to the amount of gold he has on him.
Okay.
right.
So his power might be limited by not having the gold
So it has to be in close proximity, and that's probably why he needs every single one of them.
to give himself full power.
Full power to kill. Because again,
Is he
what-
going to kill everybody if he gets all his gold back?
Yeah.
what does he use the power for?
Yeah, what do you need that for? What do you need to be a dick for? If you're getting your coins back, you can fuck off after that.
Yeah. And if someone doesn't have your coins, why kill them?
Okay, so there's the other
Because
thing
he killed
too.
the cop, yeah.
Yeah,
snaps his glass neck.
He killed the cop. He killed the wife. Neither of them had
right,
coins.
Yeah. Mrs. O'Grady didn't do anything to anybody.
Well, she was kind of a shrew.
Well, he was a drunk asshole.
He
though.
was, yeah,
I feel
that's
like
true.
he drove her to that.
I liked the little moments where it was the little girl in the suitcase. Please let me out. And then she's in the crate too. It's like, why can he affect all of these different people's voices? Like, what? There is no clarity in his powers. Like,
No.
I couldn't even write fan
Very
fiction if I
nebulous.
wanted to.
No.
Actually, you probably could, because you could be like, well, I mean, now he's a horse. You know, like,
Just make him anything.
just make him anything. He can do anything. Now he has the ability to perform karate, you know? That would be an awesome movie. I'm sorry. Leprechauns doing karate.
I'm surprised that isn't like one of the subplots of the future sequels, because MJ, there are 10, I believe, Leprechaun movies. in all.
10 Leprechaun movies.
He goes to space.
Wasn't that the 4 one? Because we saw that up there for a brief minute.
He goes to the hood.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Not the hood.
The Hood. THA.
Oh, very... I don't even know.
You know where the Leprechaun never goes? Ireland.
So much sense. This just makes so much sense. So much sense.
The Hood in North Dakota.
That's it.
And space.
Oh, now we really do have to watch all the other ones.
THA, Amy.
Oh.
The Hood.
The Hood. So gross. Jeez.
I've heard that that's not as offensive as it sounds.
It still does sound offensive.
It does sound horribly offensive.
Like, I get Leprechaun in space, but I mean... Not the other.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. So 10 out of 10, really, this movie. for sheer enjoyment. And yes, it's true. It is a delight.
A
in this
delight.
film.
Like, he's having so much fun.
So much fun.
Like, without him, there's just no movie. Like, you can't do this with another actor. You've got to have his level of commitment to the bit.
Yep.
Especially if you don't feel bad about having this character.
Aww.
Like, you've got Peter Dinklage out here. He's getting a choice of roles
Yeah.
to do, finally. Like,
Yeah, which it should be.
He should just be the best actor for any role.
Yeah.
And
Warwick Davis was never up from the beginning.
And I know that's probably what they want him to be treated like him.
Absolutely, because he is one.
He's a person. He gets just opposite the offer they get. And he's like, I guess I gotta be able to
Yes. Well, this is my life now. I'm still... Willow. I mean, come on. Willow's awesome. Willow. And he's... You know, you can hate... Harry Potter 3, which we won't even say anything, but Flitwick is awesome. Yes. But again, doesn't have nearly enough screen. Like, at least this, he got to do the scenery, like, a ton of it.
Yeah, and I mean, in the future, I believe he's mainly playing this character, so there's that.
So Collins, people love him. That's badass.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So at least that seems to be kind of a good thing for Miss Even is. It's kind of horrible. You kind of feel guilty about
It's my fault that there were so many errors in this film. So many errors.
I did not care at all.
Nope.
Like, nobody. I did not. You got $1 million budget. We're not spending money doing it.
Right.
I'm going to do it.
It's like Shoe being thrown out in the yard. All the fucks were just way out there.
Then Jennifer Aniston says fuck.
Yeah, which
Yes.
I loved. And she also
That
said
was
shit.
great.
She also said shit.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was totally great.
And we just kept calling her Rachel throughout the whole movie. Which, again, I love her. She could do no wrong. Jennifer Aniston is one of my favorites.
But to be fair, she has the single worst movie resume of any human being on the planet.
I disagree.
Oh my god, no. Look at her resume.
I have.
It is garbage.
Sorry,
From
you-
top to bottom, garbage.
Then
That
you're calling two films of Paul Rudd's garbage.
Gerard Butler and her.
Oh, that was a terrible movie.
Terrible.
Yeah, that was a terrible movie.
Her and Aaron Eckhart. Love happens. Fuck that movie.
oh.
Fuck that movie. Steve Zahn and her in management. Good fucking Christ, that movie is awful. I mean, just
garbage.
I would watch Leprechaun 50,000 times. That is a way better movie than most of the movies that Jennifer Aniston has been
But
in.
then you have like The Good Girl and stuff like that, which was it Cake that she
Cake
did?
was a
Yeah,
good movie, but
movie. Like
her resume,
Dumpling, I love
like
her in
from
that.
like 2002 to like or 2003 to like 2010, she made like 6 or 7 of the worst movie, like year after year, top 10 worst movie. I'm just saying.
That was 2011. You can't say a goddamn
And I said
thing.
2010, did I not?
Yes.
Look at the record. It's awful. It's awful. Warwick Davis was in better movies during that time. And he was only playing the Leprechaun.
Shut up. Anyway,
Meanwhile,
I
Ken Owens
stand
went
her,
on to
so.
play. Ken Owens went on to play juror number 6 on an episode of Criminal Minds.
He did voiceovers for PAX TV shows. His hair was so offensive.
This was not his big break.
This wasn't. But I swear to God, like, he looks like every white guy that Monica dated on Friends, though. I swear to God,
Honestly, honestly.
it was insane.
He's just that bland.
He's just that bland. If khaki were a person, meet Ken. Oh, that's so mean. Like, it's like, oh, I love this podcast. Wow, that was pretty rough. Fuck you guys.
Sorry, Ken.
Yeah. Kisses.
I don't know what you've been doing for the past 7 years where you have no IMDb credits. But
We'll try to bring silk stockings back, Ken.
he was like, he went from like Pacific One to the silk stockings, like that. He did that USA
He
trifecta.
did all that USA stuff.
I was shocked not to see Baywatch on his resume.
Oh my God. You're right. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Because anybody could have been on Baywatch. My mom was on Baywatch. They didn't care about acting on that. But God, it's so good. It's so good.
Okay. Shout out to Alison Pregler.
Right, exactly. A little Baywatching for everybody. Baywatch Nights, anyone?
Best show on YouTube.
Best show on YouTube. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm sad it's over,
Yeah.
but I'm glad it's over.
Are you ready for next week?
What is next week?
Body of Evidence.
Ah, yes, I am. It's going to be
Now-
so inappropriate.
On the regular show, MJ, Willem Dafoe's dick is a running commentary where we bring up either his or Kevin Bacon's dick for some reason just regularly.
None of our business.
And you're going to
really.
find out why next week because
Oh, you are going to find out why.
Find things out.
you're going to see things of Willem Dafoe you're never going to want to see.
But this is like one of the coolest Madonna eras, though. Like, she was making really cool music at the time, just really shitty
Terrible movies.
She's a terrible actress. Yeah, except
Jennifer
for her
Aniston
sexual
levels
life.
of bad.
Hey! At least Jennifer can act. I'm sorry, Madonna. I love you, but I love your music. But anyway, this is like her bad girl era, which I just love, and she's...
Willem Dafoe's shirtless body is very confusing.
A lot of things about Willem Dafoe are confusing, though, if you really think about it.
I believe Lars von Trier, the director, was talking about Willem Dafoe when they made Antichrist, and he referred to Willem Dafoe's confusingly large penis.
These are the problems you want to have. Why? We need to start next week with that clip. And then just dig right in. I'm excited. I may have to watch that movie long before you guys even come over.
You can actually get an I Hate Critics or Everyone's a Critic podcast T-shirt.
Yeah.
That is Willem Dafoe staring at a wiener, looking confused because that. Willem Dafoe is quite the character on the show.
Next week is going to be great.
He played Jesus in a movie once,
Of course he did. Was that Last Temptation?
Yeah, Last Temptation of Christ, and of course he was in a movie with Robert Pattinson. Very good movie with Robert Pattinson that I can't remember the name of.
Of course.
That's a running meme on the show as well, me forgetting names.
Yeah.
But we've got a T-shirt also there that is Batman versus Jesus with on the set of their movie together.
I need to look that up.
Those T-shirts are available on our
Awesome.
website. So
And that should be the next one, though. Thick Grinch.
Dick Grinch. THICC.
CC. In case you didn't know. Yeah. All right, next week's going to kick ass, so make sure that you tune in for that one.
This has been the Everyone's a Critic 1993 podcast. Thank you.